On today's episode of Locked On Cubs, who said they were going to get swept in Toronto? We talk about the Cubs win, Justin Steele and Keegan Thompson's innings limit, but most importantly, we have a special giveaway to discuss. Stay tuned to what we're going to be talking about.
Locked On Cubs, your daily Chicago Cubs podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back into Locked On Cubs alongside Sam Olber. I'm Matt Cozy. Pleased to be with you for a delightful Thursday episode. And today's episode is brought to you by Vroom. With Vroom, you can buy a car entirely online and have it delivered straight to you, so you never have to go to a dealership again. So the next time you need to buy a car, just grab your phone, go to vroom.com. That's VROOM.com to check out thousands of great cars. The Cubs did avoid a sweep on Wednesday, Sam, in Toronto against the Blue/Red Jays, as they love the alternate uniforms up there in Canada. And it was a hodgepodge of pitchers,
Yes,
just in terms of it being a bullpen game by definition. But the Cubs get 7 runs on 10 hits, and they do win one game of the series.
You know, when we start this show, I feel like you have me like I'm an animal at the zoo, and you have me locked in the cage. And when you do this beginning, I'm so amped to talk,
Right.
especially after a win. And I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for you to unlock it so I could go out in the free. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a good analogy.
The Cubs win. I really thought they were going to get swept, so I apologize to our listeners for bringing unnecessary negativity. Although my partner questioned if they're ever going to win a game again.
Whoops.
So yeah, we were a little sad yesterday. Nice uplifting win. What'd you think of it?
Yeah, well, I think the first game, would have
I'm
amped
still not
up
over it. Hasn't been 48 hours. Hasn't been 48 hours.
The feeling of the series would have completely changed after the first game, but it is what it is. There was definitely some offensive highlights tonight. The Cubs as a team had a weird line: 7 runs, 10 hits, 1 walk, 12 Ks at the plate. But Horner gets a 2 RBI double, Franmil a solo home run, McKinstry opposite field line drive for an RBI single. So,
Yeah.
they had hits when it mattered. And there was a couple other good line scores from hitters. Happ had 2 more hits tonight, including a double. So,
Yeah.
I actually thought it was a good team win. I did put out a poll when the Cubs were going into the bottom of the 7th, so 9 outs to go. Will they win this ball game? And 45% said yes, 55% said no. So maybe they were thinking what we were the last couple of days, but I thought it was a good team win and actually some impressive relief appearances.
Yeah, 3 main takeaways for me. Number one, Franmil Reyes has some real power that needs to be unlocked this offseason by the Cubs hitting branch. I mean, every time he pulls the ball, he hits it on the ground. All 3 of his homers in a Cub uniform have been no-doubters to the opposite field, which is not easy to do in any ballpark.
It's impressive.
He is the type of guy that if you just I know it sounds crazy. This is probably a really exaggerated analogy, but remember when Jake Arrieta came here, he was a guy with a lot of talent that was broken. Chris Bosio and company, and of course Jake Arrieta helped put him back together. Franmil Reyes in a 162 game season, if he plays 140 games, could hit 40 home runs easily. If the right things are done with him. I'm not a hitting coach, so I don't know what those are, but there's people that are paid a lot of money to know what those are. Secondly, I'm starting to get sick and tired of Seiya Suzuki getting at bats taken away from him by the umpires. I try not to mention the umpires too much on the show. I know Seiya Suzuki has to be more aggressive in the zone, and that's on him, but he's not going to completely abandon his approach. He takes a lot of pitches. He's supposed to draw a lot of walks, which he hasn't been doing lately. And it's hard to draw a lot of walks when it feels like every game he has a terrible call against him. It reminds me of Kyle Schwarber a couple of years ago, who had similar luck with that. And I hate to knock on the David Ross horn, because he did some really good things today. But his job as the manager there is to realize, you know what, my player Seiya Suzuki is dependent on taking pitches, and if those pitches are called strikes, he's not going to be a good hitter. He's got to defend his player, because from the Japanese culture, those guys don't argue with umpires over there. They're not allowed to. It's just not part of their culture. So he's not going to defend himself. He's not going to get himself thrown out of the games. Some sort of leader's got to help him from the bench. And the third thing is this guy Avon on Twitter loves to remind me, so I want to give him a shout out. He's been on me about Alfonso Rivas, who had another nice day today. We have a thread going on Twitter every single game. He tells me what Alfonso Rivas did, because he thinks that I've been too hard on him. So nice day for Rivas.
One of the teachers at school brought up your Rivas comment from the other day about his profile.
What did they say?
They thought that was a good. They enjoyed that comment. When you said he doesn't hit home runs and he strikes out a lot.
Yeah, right. I don't want to make fun of Rivas. I guess he's got a lot of fans.
Well, that's good that there's some checks and balances going on. I see that happening online a lot.
And I did tweet out today after Javier Baez struck out to end the Tiger game that I will take Nico Horner any day, twice on Sunday, over Baez. And I'm starting to receive some comments. I started a little bit of a Twitter argument.
Well, your track record on Baez goes back a while, as I could attest to.
Sure.
And when it comes to future performance, I think you've done a pretty good job projecting that. So
thank you.
The Baez one it's become a joke.
Yeah, well,
he's not very good.
Right, and Chris Bryant doesn't really play ever.
But the thing with Horner is he's superseding many shortstops.
Sure, he's going to be a 5-WAR player.
Yeah, it's not just him. And
no,
on Friday's show, we're going to talk about the Cubs locking him up for years to come.
Yeah, if they can get a team-friendly deal for him, wrap him up and put him under the Christmas tree. I'm Jewish.
So
I'm having a lemonade, by the way, folks. If you see this come in, I'm a little thirsty.
Congrats. So what we have here in terms of the pitching, I feel like this was a.
Are you wiping your? Is it hot in there or something?
Yeah, but a little bit warm.
Are you? Okay.
The AC's running pretty well though. I feel like this was a little bit of a shot at me today with the Cubs bullpen. Manny Rodriguez 2 scoreless, Leiter 1 scoreless, Rucker 1 scoreless, Hughes 1 1/3, and then Wick throws 100 in the last inning.
No, but
he threw 97.
No, but we've talked about this. Sometimes Wick's going to come out there and look like the second coming of
Edwin Diaz.
Yeah, Edwin Diaz or Lee Smith, and then there's
nice.
Yeah, thank you. And then there's other days where he looks like you and I out there. So it's hard to predict.
Boy.
I will say, though, I did get some clapback from you and a couple people about me saying I really like Mark Leiter. And, he's done out of the bullpen.
Yeah, he's done well.
He's done a nice job.
Yeah, I
don't know what's going on with
I don't know what it he is doing a nice job in the moment, but
yeah, right. But
listen, I enjoy him when he pitches well.
The thing is, well, sure, I would enjoy a rat when he pitched well if he's wearing if he's wearing gummy blue. You know what I mean? But these relievers aren't like they're not like position players. You never like Mark Leiter could be a setup man next year. You never know.
Whoa.
It's just such an arbitrary thing. I mean, look at Efros.
They're
was
graded on a different scale too.
Yeah, so you just try and look for signs. I was hoping
you know what this is? This is a spider. This is a spider web.
Oh, yeah, I got a couple of those in my dungeon.
Yeah, I think Peter Parker's up there.
I was hoping to see Estrada in the 9th.
Oh, that would have been sweet.
Yeah.
Boy, was he getting a lot of pub today about his fastball.
Including us on the show.
Yeah, we were, again, the leaders on that. So Cubs 21-18 now in the second half. They have a rare off day. Because
a rare off day? Yeah, they haven't had one in a long time.
Correct. On Thursday, and then they'll get back at it in St. Lou on Friday.
Oh, boy, I hope you got room service ready.
Yes.
What a boring weekend for the boys in blue after the game.
And of course, we'll preview that on Friday's episode. So coming up next, two pitchers that haven't pitched in a while that have been huge bright spots for the Northsiders, Justin Steele and Keegan Thompson. We have some news and notes on them. And then the Scott Efros return. Hayden Wisniewski, very unique pitching outing today at AAA Iowa. And we're going to get into all of that coming up next after a message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. Are you one of those people who thinks it's okay to drive stoned? What's the worst that can happen? You end up driving below the speed limit? It's no big deal, right? Wrong. The truth is your reaction times slow way down when you're high. You only put yourself in danger, but everyone around you. Talk about a buzzkill. Stop kidding yourself. It's not okay to drive high. If you've been using marijuana in any form, do not get behind the wheel. If you feel different, you drive different. Drive high, get a DUI. That is from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. And we're back here on Locked On Cubs. Your first listen every day. Appreciate you being with us here on a Thursday or whenever you're listening. And Justin Steele is going to make his first start after some lower back tightness his last outing, Sam, but nothing serious. And it's good to see that he is going to be pitching again and he's scheduled to throw. But the twist is that it's not until Tuesday. And that's Tuesday, September 6th at that point when the Cubs pick up a homestand against the Cincinnati Redlegs. So Steele being skipped this weekend. I think he's going to be skipped again. And pitcher of his caliber this year, is that the approach the Cubs should take?
Yes. I don't know his exact innings totals this year. I'm going to pull that up, but it's, he's not familiar going this deep in the year. He's already proved himself as somebody that has been it's a coin flip between him and Horner, who's been the best story of the 2022 Cubs.
Man, that's a great question.
It's a coin flip. I mean, you could go either way, and I'm here to listen to both.
Yeah.
His job's done for the 2022 season.
I think so too.
His job was to solidify himself as a rotational piece on this team. I didn't think he could do it, and he has. So there's really not much to gain by him pitching that much more. I'm sure he wants to finish the year strong. So, they probably had a discussion with him. So they're going to skip him, keep him at 5-6 innings a start, nothing more than 90 pitches, give him maybe, 3-4 more starts max.
I think it's going to be like 3 or 4. Yeah.
Yeah. And let him go into the off season feeling really good about himself because he should.
That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a great plan. And similar stuff is going to happen with Keegan Thompson, who resumed throwing this week. Megan Montemurro from the Chicago Tribune, who I would love for her to be our first non-locked on guest this offseason. If possible, if we don't get a player or something before then, I would love for her to be on. There's a connection to our area as well. She's from around here. But she reported that when Thompson does return, he will stay on a starting pitcher's routine, but will likely be used in piggyback fashion or some other type of scripted role out of the pen, which interestingly enough was his role when he debuted last year.
Yeah, and I think that's what he's best at. I just looked, Steele's at 119 innings. I'd say 150 would be the absolute max he gets to. But yeah, Thompson, same thing. They're doing this stuff. I don't know if you saw Wisniewski, Matt. He came out of the bullpen today.
Yes.
I think but it's smart. And I know you raised your eyebrow at it, but it's actually pretty smart because they're going to have a lot of options next year in the rotation. And some guys are going to have to be comfortable in that swing role, in that tweener role. I mean, Keegan Thompson thrived on that this season. His numbers coming out of the bullpen,
2 years in a row, he
was one of the most valuable relievers in baseball doing that.
Yeah.
I think it suits him better than just starting games. Wisniewski, I think, will eventually be a starter, but I think they're just saying, hey, you might be able to help our baseball team in 2023 doing this. especially because the Cubs, as great as Steele has been this year, he doesn't go deep in games very much. So, you could have Steele go max effort for 5-6 innings and then bring in Thompson for 2 or 3. And maybe that day you don't even have to use any of your back end relievers, right? Alzolay fits into that category. Leiter Jr. a little bit fits into that category. Wisniewski could fit into that category. So there's a lot of these guys, and I think it's really challenging in the way they're going to use them, but there's a lot of good with that, these piggybacks and changing up, arm levels. Hey, if we start Steele comes from this angle on the left side, maybe this guy from the right side. That's the type of futuristic thinking the Cubs have been missing for the last couple of years out of their pitching.
Yeah, I love the Steele Thompson combo. I'm not to say that I'm sentimental about it, but they debuted together, and this year they were.
But you're a sentimental guy. I
remember.
This is a true story, folks. I remember going to a Cubs game with you. I don't remember which it was, but you were very emotional because it was the last time you were going to see the core.
Yeah,
remember that? And
I think so.
You were kind of had a moment to yourself during the game. I really respected that.
Was that last June for my birthday?
I think that was what it was. But you know me
before that.
You know me, guys, because I'm they're gonna get rid of these guys. I'm kind of blunt. But Matt was like, you know what, enough. Let's have a moment. I want to appreciate this for a second. It's the last time I'm going to see so and so in a Cub uniform. And my point is, you're a sentimental guy, and there's nothing to be ashamed of for that.
I appreciate that. Praise you.
Yeah.
And Wisniewski today actually finished the game.
Oh,
so
boy,
he was out of the pen. He was out of the pen and went 5 innings.
I'll tell you,
5 innings, 1 hit, no runs.
I hope Morel brings a book or something to read in St. Louis. He's going to be bored out of his mind over there.
There's a lot of good options on streaming right now.
Yeah, right. No, Wisniewski.
Yeah, so I just went over his line 30 seconds ago, and it was 5 innings. That's going to be 1 hit, no runs.
Yeah, no, the arm. They're churning out the arms right now. How has Benny Brown been pitching?
Yeah, I'll find that out for Friday's show. I know he got off to a great start with the Smokies.
Yeah, Brown, Hertz, Wicks, Wisniewski, Killian.
It's awesome.
It's this Estrada guy. He's gonna be the first Cub. Will he be the first Cub since I think Brandon Morrow hit 100 miles an hour? Oh, Kimbrel. He'll be the first Cub since Kimbrel that's hit 100 miles an hour.
Kimbrel hit 100 with the Cubs.
I don't know that to be a fact. Maybe he didn't.
But otherwise,
I think
it was
Morrow did for a week. And if
he only pitched for a week.
Yeah, no, he was injured. And then Chapman. I mean, it's going to be right. That guy can really pitch.
Yeah, no, it's really exciting.
And speaking of pitch, I got my first slow pitch softball game tomorrow night.
Yeah, and that's going to be played finally, correct?
Well, if it's 75 and sunny, they might cancel it because of the dangerous weather, they did last week. But hopefully, we can get it in.
Yeah, hopefully so. And then you can report back.
I'll be reporting back. And if I report anything less than 2 or 3 hits, we got a big problem.
Now, if you had to choose either 2 or 3 hits, what would it be? Because I know there was a discrepancy last week.
I am. If I come back here and I don't go at least 3 for 4, I'd be upset.
And you're not. Who's pitching? You're not pitching, are you? What position are you playing?
If I pitch, we're going to get slaughtered. I'm going to be starting in center field.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I'm like Brandon Nimmo.
Yeah, no, I'll have to make it out sometime.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Brandon Nimmo with the catch. Possible future Cub tonight.
God, the guy looked like Michael Jordan.
It was awesome. So coming up next, we do have a couple comments and questions from listener Sam, which I'm excited to read. And then a big giveaway announcement that you're going to announce for us here on Locked On Cubs. And that's all going to come up next. All right, we're back here on Locked On Cubs.
Big news.
Thursday edition of the episode. We're going to get to that at the very end here.
Oh, you want to do it at the end? Okay.
Yeah. And, I just, getting ready this morning, I was listening to the radio and I heard an acronym for the first time, PSL. And of course, my stupid brain goes to personal seat license for the stupid Bears at Soldier Field. So I go, oh, PSL, they must be talking about the transfer of tickets when they moved to Arlington Heights, right? No, PSL is in pumpkin spice latte. So what I'm wondering is it too early for pumpkin stuff? 312-834-4634. It's only September 1st.
It's too early, even if it's Halloween. Go ahead. Boy, the Reds and Cardinals are still playing. What is this ball game in the 14th?
All right, so we're hearing from Ryan in Hawaii again.
Oh man, I love that we have listeners. It's technically a state, but
national, yeah. There have been way too many instances of pitches right down the middle that the Cubs aren't even swinging at. Then the very next pitch, they chase 1 mile off the plate. It's very infuriating. It's just a comment only.
Hey, what's the first name again?
Ryan.
Ryan. There's a lot to be infuriated about. Do they take a lot of pitches? I mean, Suzuki and Morel take a lot of pitches right down the middle.
Right, and it's something we really should look into because the numbers would be out there. Baseball Savant would probably have that, but
Horner doesn't take a lot of pitches down the middle.
No, he swings a lot.
Contreras doesn't. Hap takes some called thirds.
Yes.
Hap's been hitting well.
Very well. Yeah, very well. It's good to see. And then Bryce in Iowa, our young players look like they're hitting a wall late in the season. The silver lining is that they're experiencing this fatigue during the season when they could afford to.
Bryce is a smart guy.
The best thing Ross can do is keep playing them, but not shatter their confidence going into next season.
Terrific.
But that's got to be a tough thing for a manager. No, that's Bryce in Iowa.
It's a terrific comment.
It is, yeah.
He's exactly right. Morel, Horner, these guys haven't played
162, man.
This long of a year, but you might as well get it out now because a year from now, these games are going to matter. But he's right. But
no
you don't want to ruin their. Now, there's no reason for me to even make a comment on that. He said everything that I would say.
He did. He seems to do that, by the way.
Yeah, no, man, I'd like to meet Bryce. Him and I think a lot.
I think we will eventually. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe at a live show.
Yeah, trust me, I think about that every day.
Yeah, you love a live show.
So
got to shave, don't I?
I agree. So I'm really excited for this giveaway YouTube announcement.
And I'm announcing it.
I know.
I don't get to do much with this show. So Matt, I slightly changed it since
I've spoken to you 2 hours ago.
Since you spoke to me 2 hours ago, because I thought about it. So I don't want you to yell at me on the air, okay?
Yeah.
Because people think
I do that a lot.
No. People think that because of our dynamic on the show, Matt runs this show. He just carries me along for the ride. I'm like the 07 Cavs. He's LeBron. I'm like Sasha Pavlovich.
Oh, jeez.
So here's the giveaway idea, folks. Right now, we're at 1,100 subscribers on YouTube. We have hit a point in the season that, there's not the biggest news happening right now. So I want to keep this momentum going. So
31 games left.
Yeah. If we can get to 2,000 subscribers by the last game of the season, which is Matthew?
Sunday,
October 5.
Yeah, I think that's right.
If we can get, and Matt's going to tweet this tomorrow. If we can get to 2,000 subscribers, it's a big ask. It's almost doubling our subscriber total in a 31-day stretch. But we have a lot of listeners on this show. I think we could do it. And here's the adjustment that I've made, am going to do 3 giveaways. So we're going to pick 3 of our followers on Twitter. So make sure you're following us on Twitter at Locked On Cubs. And I'm going to pick 3 random followers, and you are going to get a Cubs jersey, whatever of your choice. You'll DM me on my Twitter account. You'll tell me your size. You'll tell me what you want. And guess what, folks? There's not a lot of them out there. I don't know if there's a Justin Steele. I may have to customize it. That could cost me an extra $25, and I'm doing it anyway. Okay? So that's what I want to do. I want to see if we can get to 2,000 subs by the end of the season, and then I'm picking 3 random Twitter followers, which the odds aren't that bad. We don't have that many Twitter followers, like 1,900. It's not crazy. And we're going to do giveaways like this. We'll probably do one next year where we give away tickets to a game, things like that. So please do that. Just all you have to do is spread the word. Hey, subscribe to this. Follow these guys on Twitter. We're gonna get some jerseys. We're gonna get some tickets. We're gonna get a lot
Maybe
of
some
stuff.
bobbleheads.
Yeah, maybe some maybe a meet and greet with the newest Cub, Carlos Correa. I don't know. No, that last part was a lie, but everything else was true.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I'm excited for that announcement. We'll definitely hype it
It's a
up over
lot.
the next couple days.
And listen. We're gonna have some good videos that come up, and maybe if I do see that it is a bit unrealistic, maybe I'll adjust the time to like Thanksgiving or something. Because I mean, if we're at like 1300 the last day, that's not a real fair fight. But if we're getting close, I expect our listeners to deliver, because that would be awesome. And I don't want to go to St. Louis.
No, let's see what happens with that, and I'm excited to see how that shakes out.
Do we have anything else to talk about? I got this lemonade. I got a little sugar rush.
Yeah, I see that. And no, this is a completely regular episode, very well timed.
What shirt are you wearing tonight?
This is Cary Grove Baseball.
Shout them out.
Yeah, first time I think I've done that actually. So
well,
far.
It's my fault. I made you do it. You could have just said a baseball shirt.
Yeah, that's okay.
No. Yeah, President Kennedy.
That's right.
Somebody texted me today and said they want my next historical reference to be of William Howard Taft.
So I guess you just did it, right?
No, I'll do a better one.
Okay.
He was the first president to throw out a pitch at a baseball game. I believe it was Washington Senators in like 1901 or something.
Yeah, and you would know that, correct? Okay. All right, let's go through the propers here, and because we're excited for this football tease.
Man, am I a loser, huh?
Be sure to subscribe to Locked On Cubs on YouTube and smash the like button on all your favorite Locked On Cubs content. Doing a great job on YouTube, but make sure the algorithm, folks, you smash the like button. Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast, and send us a text like the listeners like Ryan in Hawaii and Bryce in Iowa, and let us know about the pumpkin spice crap, 312-834-4634. I mean, admittedly, I take the crap comment back. Admittedly, I probably will get one in the fall season. Thanks for making Locked On Cubs your first listen every day. Now, make your second listen the Ultimate Pro Football Preview Show. Sam is really excited about this.
I'm really pumped.
An 8-episode extravaganza to get you ready for the 2022 NFL season. The local team experts of the Locked On Podcast Network will all be there, plus betting coverage from Lee Sterling of Locked On Bets, all combining into one ultimate NFL preview. Just search for Ultimate Pro Football Preview 2022 on YouTube or wherever you get your podcast. He's Sam Olber. Oh, you wanted to say something?
I didn't even know Matt Ryan was on the Colts.
You're lying.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he changed teams.
Yeah, well, no, people probably aren't listening anymore. Anyway. Because they know right after.
Bears 21-20 in a couple weeks. Yeah. For Sam Olber, I'm Matt Cozy. This is Locked On Cubs.